Hey guys, Captain Foley here for another Eaglemoss review. Today we got something very cool to look at. At least a lot of people will think it's cool. Some might not, but that's okay. I just need my coffee first because it's in the morning. I need my refuel juice. Let's just get right into it then. Alright, so what are we looking at today? Well, you probably know because you clicked on the thumbnail and you can see the title of the video. But, so there's no real shock, there's no real surprise. I should just have a black thumbnail with a white question mark and no title. Just Eaglemoss review of cool new ship. No, today we're going to be talking about the USS Europa NCC 1648 from Discovery. This is an interesting ship to say the least. And I'm looking forward to talking a little bit about it. First off, let's look at the box as we always do. The box is fantastic. Great picture of the ship. They really did these Discovery boxes justice, I think. I wish they did this with all the other ships as well. Even the small boxes would be cool to have this kind of thing going on because you got a nice picture of the ship. Star Trek Discovery there, the UFP symbol, and the Discovery there, which keeps you on the side. And you got Star Trek Discovery. Here you've got Star Trek Discovery and the Europa again. Just that on the side and that on the back. Bottom is just, you know, Hero Collector from Eaglemoss and all the blah blah blahs. No blah blah blah! Again, these boxes are great because you can throw them, you can throw them on a shelf up high, make a great display piece even if you put the ship on top. Or if you need to store the ship inside because you don't have room, but you have room to store some boxes because boxes are easier to stack than ships. You got the box and you can display it this way or you can display it this way and you get to see the ship and the great artwork. So the Discovery boxes are very well done. But let's open this up. Another great thing I love about the Discovery boxes is they include the magazines inside, and they're the smaller magazine format, which I prefer to the larger regular Eaglemoss magazines with the super small boxes. Just makes no sense. It does make sense for shipping and stuff because that is the subscription service, and you don't have to have a subscription to Eaglemoss to enjoy the ships. A lot of people think you do, and you don't. All you need to do really is click the link in the description below, and the description of all of our videos. Head on over to the Eaglemoss site, and if you're interested in a particular ship, if you just watched one of our reviews on a specific ship and want to get that ship, that model, click the link, go over there, add it to your cart, pick up a few other things, and on checkout, if you use the discount code Trekyards, you get to save yourself quite a bit of money, and it helps out you, it helps out the channel. It's all good. It's all very good for everybody involved. So here's the magazine. Again, some great artwork on the front. Not artwork, photo of the model. It's got type Nimitz, so it's the Nimitz class. Launched 23rd century. Length 383 meters. It's a big one, but it is a four-nacelled ship. It is commanded by an admiral, Admiral Armstrong, I believe. No, Admiral Anderson. That's him. He's one of my favorite characters from Discovery, Admiral Anderson. It's a cool ship for sure, and because it's bigger and it's called a Nimitz class. Now the Nimitz class is one of the largest, at least it was, one of the largest aircraft carriers in the Navy. It's cool that this is the Nimitz class. I don't have a problem with the length on this one particularly, because if it is a dreadnought or some other styled ship, that's fine. Just don't mess with the other ship sizes. My hair is all, you can tell it's the morning. Hopefully you can forgive the styling faux pas. Alright, so let's get into the book. Oh, sorry, on the back of the book we'll show you just a great shot of the Nimitz there. So, opening up the book, as we tend to do with books, you got the instructions here how to place it on the stand, and we'll find out how the stand fits later at the end of the video, as we always do. Here is a fantastic representation of the Nimitz. From the side it looks pretty impressive and cool, and it's got some specifications here as well. The class, as we've stated, is the Nimitz class. Its affiliation is Federation. Launched the 23rd century and length 383 meters approximately. So no real new information there. Also has some little detailed shots of the model down here, but we're going to look at those later. So here is the Europa, a couple different views of it, and of course a little blurb talking about it. The Nimitz-class flagship dragged the USS Shinzo to safety before being rammed by a Klingon cleave ship. So it suffered a very awful loss. But it says the USS Europa boasted a powerful tractor beam on its underside that could be used to tow ships. Well, I think all ships have that, but maybe this is more powerful than normal. You can see the tractor beam there in that photo. Just a cool ship. Here we've got some orthos of the ship. Again, these books are really nicely done, and looking forward to reviewing the Eaglemoss books, which I have as well. That'll be another review for a different day. But the orthos of these things are cool. This is a neat looking ship, very reminiscent of the Miranda class. The Nimitz-class Europa was noticeable for its four-warp nacelles and roll bar. Of course, here we get to see it getting hit by the cleave ship and just sliced in half. So here's an article on designing the Admiral's ship. This is one of John Eves' designs. Again, fantastic design, very cool. Not my favorite though, I gotta say. We've done mission briefing on this ship and talked about it a little bit. But to have the model, you get to see a lot more details, which is cool. Yeah, and I have a problem with the nacelle shape, because it was Brian Fuller's direction and no cylindrical nacelles, so they had to be different shapes. But you can see the cylindrical nacelle inside. It's almost like it's got a armored housing that protects it. So I can get around that. That's fine. Here's some different design sketches and concepts. There's one there with just the version 1 that has just the upper nacelles, and there are the lower ones, and there's some 3D renderings of the model. And then, for some reason, it goes on here to say the USS Nimitz NCC 5572 is a Worthington class, even though the specifications earlier just said it's a Nimitz class. Eves wanted the ship to look aggressive, so he gave it a lot of weapons, which he intended to be protected by the cutout sections in the saucer and the pod in the middle of the roll bar. You can see some photon torpedoes there's and more down here, which is actually very interesting. So again, Johnny says great work. So here it says that the four nacelle design made the ship look compact. Made it compact and makes it look very rugged. And yeah, it does. It looks absolutely great, to be honest. Over here it shows the next ship in the Discovery lineup. Issue number 6 is the Vulcan Cruiser, which is honestly an awful looking ship. I don't like it at all. And coming soon. There's other ones down there as well. So more to look for coming soon from Eaglemoss from these guys. So that is the book, guys. Now it's time to move on to the actual model itself, and this is the fun part. So we pull it out, and here it is, the USS Europa. So I don't know whether it's a Nimitz class or a Worthington class, but it's Worthington of being a Nimitz class. That makes sense. That's a dad joke. I'm sorry. And you got, from certain angles, it's got a very, very much Miranda style vibe to it. I've honestly got to say that this is the first time I've had this out of the box. Seeing it in 3D, holding the model in your hands, gives you a new appreciation for a lot of ships. It was the same way with the Enterprise C. I hated that ship for years. I hated the Ambassador class. Then I built a model of it because somebody gave me a model, and it was a pretty quick build. Built it, and now I love it. It's one of my favorite classes of ships. This is probably going to be up there with one of my favorite class of Discovery ships, just because once you hold it and turn it and see all the different angles, it's really fantastic. So we got these cutouts here. There's no photon torpedo detail in the front there, which is a shame. Also the front detail here on the deflector. In the book there's two spikes that stick out, very much like the Columbia from Enterprise. Not here, there's no detail. Very low detail in this, apparently. There's no photon torpedo launchers up here. There's no visible photon torpedo launchers on this thing, I don't think. Which is a very odd choice. The registry up front looks beautiful. I love the red striping around the hull. The Aztecing on this hull is beautiful as well. I love the darker colors. I think that works very well. This must be the bridge or an observation lounge at some point of some type. There you go. It's probably the bridge though, and there's a big forward window. The roll bar is very cool. Again, no weapons incorporated in it. It seems like they moved the bridge up there, which is an odd choice. I would have left the bridge down here and then put like a weapons pod up here. But then that's too Miranda style probably. The nacelles are kind of neat. I do like, they don't have the blue crystals like a lot of the other Eaglemoss ships have. They're just painted blue, but that's fine. Again, I can see a cylindrical nacelle being encased in this thing, and those are just like added protection. Huge shuttle bay at the back, and with a Nimitz class, it could be a 2-deck, or even like 3 or 4 decks, judging by the size of this thing. That once those doors open, there's different decks that can launch fighters, because we know that the Nimitz aircraft carrier is an aircraft carrier. It launches fighters, so that could be the case here. It looks like there's also, excuse me. Looks like there's also a lower shuttle bay as well. Some interesting detailing and grooblies on the lower cutouts. The little registry numbers on the side. There's the registration number and then the name of the ship on the other side there. And then of course the main one right there, which is the smaller registry on the bottom, which is fine. It's very reminiscent of the refit style of Enterprise. Not a lot of super detailing on the nacelles, but the pennants and the banner, the delta, all looks really cool. I love the striping that's added here. Really cool design detail. The rear of the engines, the upper ones face down, the lower ones face up, and they got some interesting detailing there as well, kind of like vents, which again is very cool. Profile's great. All the warp nacelles seem to be in line with each other, so that's good. I don't see anything really wrong with this model physically from Eaglemoss, so that's good. Like I said though, I mean, even upside down it works. Upside down it actually looks kind of cool with that thing on the bottom there, but the design that could easily be flipped. Actually, I think I almost prefer it upside down with the roll bar on the bottom. That kind of looks cool. But interesting design nonetheless, very neat. John Eaves does a great job. The only complaint I would have about this, because like I said, there are no physical problems with it, is just the fact of the low detail. Like there's nothing hidden in there. I don't know if there were supposed to be photon torpedo launchers in there like in the artwork. If there is, it's very lackluster, very basic. Same with this front deflector. It's very flat. There's no detailing in there at all. There's not even a little inset in the deflector dish. But lots of windows along the bottom. And again, they're not indented, so they're not misaligned, which is nice. But judging by the size of those windows, this is a beast of a ship. Very, very big. So it could be that this is the bridge here. It could also be just be an observation lounge like the mess hall or whatever. And much like the Federation class dreadnought from Franz Joseph, the bridge could be in the center of the secondary or the primary hull here, the saucer. That would also be very cool. Knowing Discovery, it might be on the bottom. Who knows? But again, neat ship. Love to learn more about it, and yeah, much better appreciation for it having held it. However, I would flip it upside down personally. I think that looks so much better and cooler. But anyway, that's just my opinion. But that's why you came, because you wanted my review, and I got to give you my opinion in the review. All right, so guys, now we're going to take it over, set it on the stand, take a look at it, and just wrap up the video. And yeah. All right, so let's take it on over there. Warp speed. All right, folks, so here she is on the stand. give it a quick turn so you can see some of the details. Now somebody commented on my last video that I should get a little turntable thing, and I agree. I do have a little one that's solar powered, which usually works pretty well in consistent lighting. But for some of the heavier ships it just wouldn't work. I need to get a bigger one, and I think I will do that for future videos. Try to lock down one of these turntable things so I don't have to do it by hand, but by hand I can always go back and do this and show you certain details when I'm specifically talking about something. So thank you for the suggestion. But yes, it has been considered. So there you go, guys. Lots of cool little details on this thing, and yet lack of detail at the same time. It's a weird choice. Again, it slots in the stand very nicely. This one's very secure, which is nice. Some of them are kind of flimsy and flobbly. I just made up a new word, flobbly. Wow, cool. So, Admiral Anderson's ship, there you go. If you put it on a lower shelf, looks great. Different angles. Kind of loses that angle a little bit for me. These look almost too stubby. But, looks good. And again, should we put it on a eye-level shelf? It looks actually really neat. This has got a very upward sloping angle, which is one of the things I hate about the Eaglemoss stand sometimes. Sometimes just a flat presentation is better. But I understand for weight distribution and things like that, they have to lean back sometimes quite dramatically. So from different angles, this looks great on a eye-level shelf, especially from the back. There's a lot of detail going on back there. I think when you put it like that, it loses a lot in translation, should you be looking at it at eye level. From the side, it does have a neat profile, but again, the upward angle is a little much for me, but that's just me. If you put it on a high shelf, again, you get kind of that feel back of it being majestic. That's a cool shot right there. Directly from the back as well, from below, it looks great. So lots of dimensionality, lots of shapes in this thing that really make it viewable from multiple ways. So there you go, guys. That is the Worthington class. No, wait, the Nimitz class. No, wait. Well, we know for sure it's the Europa, so we'll go with the Europa. That's what it is. Could be a Nimitz class. I guess I got to read the books. Yeah, it's probably a good idea. Read the books, guys. So should you want this one or any other Eaglemoss ship that I've reviewed, check them all out, by the way. Check out all the Eaglemoss reviews. But if you want these, you can click the link in the description below. Head on over there, and on checkout, you can save yourself 15% off orders of $50 or more if you use the discount code Trekyards at checkout. And that would help you out, help us out, and it's just awesome for the channel in general. So guys, we're going to call that a wrap for today's video. Thank you very much, as always, for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel, as well as the Captain Foley channel. And check out other reviews and other videos that we do. We always cover great stuff and have a fun time here. So if you're into that kind of thing, please subscribe. Till next time, guys.